Hello guys and welcome back to the AEI Stadium for another match day. This time we're starting our FA Cup journey at home to Basingstoke. Mark, we were just having a little bit of a chat there. Probably on paper, a very equal game, two equal teams.
Yeah, Basingstoke clearly started very well. We thought we'd started okay off the back of the Berkhamsted win, and we've had two really disappointing results at Bank Holiday weekend. So you would probably look at the players on paper and think a fairly even contest. They're probably the form side going into it. I'd imagine they're the favourites. But a fantastic opportunity for us today to bounce back and put what went wrong Bank Holiday behind us.
What did you say then at training on Thursday? What were you really looking into?
I think it was very much a focus on goals we conceded. If you could look at our goals conceded column, it's high. Although actually we've scored and created good chances, so it's fairly clear where our problems have been. And I think the message really is probably just about getting back to some basics and not trying to overcomplicate things, and just making sure that we tighten up in some key areas, and we're not creating our own problems. Because if you look at watch the games back or watch the games with your own eyes, you can see that teams aren't really breaking us down. It's us causing our own problems, and that's obviously not a good recipe for any game anywhere. So I think it's really about focus on us, focus about tightening up and getting back to basics.
5 changes today from the side that did lose to Walton and Hersham. Can you just speak us through them?
Yeah, I think if you look at the Berkhamsted game where we won here and probably won quite well, and then I think probably hands up we got some things wrong over Bank Holiday weekend. Walton came here on Monday and only made 1 change from their team on Saturday. We made lots of changes on the Saturday, 4 or 5 changes. We then made changes again on the Monday, and it would appear today we've made 4 or 5 changes, but I think actually what we're looking for is a bit of consistency and probably going back to to what served us well for the good patches this season. So I think one of the things when we've looked at it is probably, are we trying to be too clever? Are we trying to overcomplicate things? And maybe that's been the answer. So on the sort of theme of going back to basics, that's the team we picked today.
I'm going to pick out 2 players who you have brought back in. Caborn, an attacking player, and then obviously Rafa Ramos. We only saw 2 shots on target in our last game at Walton and Hersham. Is that the plan to really increase that for this one?
Yeah, I mean, like I said a minute ago, shots on target has not really been an issue. We've been creating chances, we've been having shots, we've been thundering woodwork, we've had long spells of pressure, but it's all been about the other end. Trev's come in and probably not started the season as well as he wanted to. He was left out and then came off the bench last weekend and looked like a different lad. Rafa started at Gloucester on the first day of the season and probably, if we were honest, let everyone down. Yet again, Rafa came on at Aldridge and it looked a real menace, looked the real Rafa we'd signed, the Rafa of old. So I think it's one of them where they've probably earned the right to start today, and that's why they do.
Do you think today then, in that sense, it's more of a mental challenge trying to overcome that a lot now?
I think probably when you look at it, did we expect too much too soon? When you look at pre-season, we've majorly overhauled the squad. That's going to take time to settle. We're playing on a new pitch. It's going to take time to get used to that. So I just think we've got to settle, really regroup. We've got some good players here. We just need to find some consistency, and a result today will obviously be massive. And then we're going for the next 3 league games, and we'll be full of confidence.
Well, Mark, I'll let you get to it. Obviously, the FA Cup, a big competition. So yeah, hopefully a competition we can go far in. But before I get into the team news and everything, you do want to see Phil, if you're a Gosport fan, get a shirt like me. Great kits this season. But now, let's get into the team news.
Gosport have made 5 changes from the side that lost to Walton and Hersham on Monday. Reed, Gunson, Ramos, Shucker and Caborn are all back in the starting 11. And this is how Basingstoke line up today. This is the FA Cup, non-league club's dream to create history. Road to glory, road to Wembley.
Greenwood preparing to take another corner now. Fixed it in. Oh, and Charlie Vasman knocked it over the line. I think it was Rafa Ramos there who flicked it back into Vasma, and Vasma belts it home for Borough, and Gosport have already opened the scoring thanks to a good set piece. It falls to Gallagher, and Gallagher is pushed to the floor. Tommaso winning that battle, but there's been
at the other end.
Ethan Taylor might be through on goal. Takes it past. Oh no! I think that could be a red card.
Right, I think he's in trouble.
That was an awful.
And he's off! He is gone!
Well,
Caborn, through on goal. He dinks it over the keeper. And he's come so close. Hit the post. What can Greenwood do from this set piece? 25 yards out. Greenwood steps up, lines up a shot. It's over the wall. Oh! Greenwood with a green timed finish. That's excellent from Greenwood. Gosport double their lead in excellent fashion. It's Greenwood with Gosport's second of the game. Ben Greenwood gets past his man in acres of space down this left-hand channel. Sweaties it to Dan Wooden. Dan Wooden open in front of goal. He can't finish off these times. Great opportunity for Gosport. The corner has come in. Headed away. A Basingstoke man wins it back. Can't find its way past the crowded box, but Leg swings a leg at it and it's blazed into the top corner. Basingstoke might have just found a late flurry of hope in the dying moments of this game. They've clawed. Danny, a 2-1 win in the FA Cup today. We're through to the next round. Completely different performance from Monday's.
Yeah, it was a little bit different. Our game plan was different to what we had on Monday. They're a different opposition as well, to be fair. They're good at what they do. We knew first and second contacts would be valuable today. I thought we competed really, really well. And the disappointing thing from our side is that we had, especially first half, 5-6 really, really good chances and probably should have put the game to bed, but it wasn't to be. And it's just nice to get the job done into the hat for the next round.
You mentioned about that game plan being different. What was the difference then in that?
I think, it's fair to say that probably the lads are a little bit low on confidence. The season hasn't started how we want it to. So just probably giving less risk to the team, playing in different areas, probably going a little bit front to back, a little bit more direct at times, which is probably not mine and Glenn's way, but for this game and what's needed at the moment, we had to adapt, and I think the lads took it on really, really well. And like I said, they created a lot of chances. The disappointing thing is we only took 2 when we probably should have had, like I said, a few more.
Why do you think that then? The final third, we had a lot of good opportunities. That one involving Dan Wooden, that the literally death of the game, that really could have finished off the contents. A few from Ethan Taylor in the first half. Why were we not ruthless today?
I think it's a hard thing to put your finger on, really. We've had, I think over the past weeks, we've had a lot of chances. One area that we've probably been happy with, but our conversion rate's probably not been there. That's not blaming a certain individual. That's as a team, as a unit. We need to, all sort of score goals and weigh in with our little bit. Like you say, Charlie Weston's got 3 now. He's our centre half. So, it shows you that we're a threat from set pieces. But in general play, we're creating a lot, which is good. But as a whole, we need to start converting some of our chances, because goals win your games, and if you don't, like I said at the death today, it's gone 2-1, and it shouldn't have probably been that way.
I spoke to Mark in the pre-match interview earlier, and we were looking at the 5 additions that have been changed since that Walton and Hersham game. You had the likes of Rafa on the pitch today, Caborn, and it looked like all 5 of those players did make a real difference today.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like I said, it's been a tough period. I think it's probably the best way of describing it. I think if you speak to all the lads individually, have they got a little bit more in the tank? They'll probably all say yes. I think us as a management unit, we've sort of looked at ourselves and again probably need to reassess, and we've done so. So I don't think it's down to any individual. I think we've all gone out there, trying to get the result each week, and it's not quite happened for whatever reason. And today, like I said, we stuck to a game plan. You probably see a different side to us today, which is pleasing. But again, there's still building blocks, and there's still areas where we need to improve and progress, and we hope to do that over Tuesday and Thursday, and then put another improved performance from today into next Saturday and get 3 points in the league.
One thing I did really think about today was the set pieces. Last season, and a little bit at the start of this season, they've been very orthodox, very normal set pieces. But even looking at the first few corners in the game, very unorthodox, a lot more creative. And then even the set pieces, we're going for shots. Is that something you guys have been working on in training?
Yeah, I think set pieces are a massive part of the game. So, like I've said to you, Charlie's weighed in with 3 goals from set pieces. So it shows that we've got that aerial threat. If we do decide to put it into the box, but also we've got lads that are good in 1v1 situations, so if we can draw people out and be a bit more creative, I think it's certainly something that we can try and do as well. And like you've seen today, it's to good effect. Some of the time it's not always going to pay off, but if we can be creative and try and put the ball in the box and keep the opposition guessing, then there's no reason why we shouldn't keep trying to do that, because it can lead to goals.
The free kick Ben scored today, that second goal, it was fantastic. Reminded me a bit of a similar finish from you.
Yeah, I wish I could remember that. So I don't really get many from distance. Some people say I wasn't technically gifted, but it was a great free kick. To be fair, Ben's got a lovely left foot. He hit one here back end of Monday's game at the post. So set pieces, he's certainly a specialist in terms of striking the ball and with his delivery. So yeah, it's a nice weapon to have, because you've got people around the box about 25 yards out that can really work the goalkeeper like he's shown today. It's only a benefit for the team.
You mentioned at the start of this interview that the mindset, the confidence in the camp was low. Do you think after this win that will be boosted now?
I think winning games it breeds confidence. Like I've said, in spells in games we've done well, but we haven't actually put it together as a whole. The more games we can win, the more confident the lads should get. It doesn't mean we've been bad. It just means that we've probably not got the results, one, we wanted, and two, in a couple of games probably not deserved. But that's football. So we have to try and be resilient. Make sure, like I said, we have a good week's training, and from this week to next week, we just need to keep improving, because it is only early days, and we want to keep improving and keep pushing and trying to get positive results and try and push up the table.
Anyone you would like to see in the next round of the FA Cup?
No, like I said, it'd be nice to get another home draw, because it's always nice being at home in front of the home fans. I think they've been fantastic this season. So a home draw would be fantastic, but whoever it is, we prepare right and make sure that we put a good account of ourselves together and try and get into the round after that.
Gosport through to the next round of the FA Cup. Dutchy, I think you know how to end the interviews now.
Up the Borough.
Perfect, mate.